Vaping has been in the news a lot lately. Once celebrated as a much safer alternative to smoking, has now come under scrutiny after a bunch of people have gotten sick from an additive being put in some of the cartridges. So there was just a congressional committee on economic and consumer policy trying to get to the bottom of what it is that's going on. And surprisingly, Whack Pack member Rashida Tlaib is on the committee, but she started getting suspicious and thought there was a conspiracy going on.
Why were you winking at one of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle? You winked.
Because I know Glenn Grothman.
Oh, that's what it, so the winking, did he?
He introduced me.
Oh,
he's a friend of mine.
Okay, I understand. I didn't know what the winking was because I thought maybe there was something like a conspiracy thing going on there. I didn't know.
You think there's a conspiracy in this hearing, ma'am?
No, I actually think people are speaking truth here, and you can provide information.
May I address the truth?
No.
Well, the truth to you is very different for the majority of people in this room who do believe that children are being targeted.
The truth for me is I quit smoking with these cigarettes, and so did 8 million other people.
Ma'am. You're still smoking.
I'm not smoking.
Thank you.
And I'm not lying under oath.
Order, please.
This poor woman came to Capitol Hill to testify on a completely non-political issue, the safety of vaping, but Rashida Tlaib thought there was some conspiracy going on. At least her fellow Whack Pack member, Ilhan Omar, is a dedicated enough Muslim to wear a hijab every time she leaves the house and is out in public. Unlike this Mimo, this Muslim in name only, who's a complete phony and just claims to be a Muslim for political points. Sort of like the phony Christians who don't know Christ and have never cracked open a Bible, but still claim to be a Christian because they were born in America. And speaking of Muslims, it looks like some creative pranksters over at 4chan came up with an ingenious way to expose just how hypocritical liberals are about their love of multiculturalism.
Concern over flyers that were posted in a Winchester neighborhood, and you can see them. It says Islam is right about women. People living in that area are now reacting, and 7's Kim Lucy is live in Winchester. And Kim, what are some of the neighbors saying there about these flyers?
Well, Chris actually spoke to the woman who found these flyers. She says she was walking her kids to school yesterday morning and she saw them stuck to some of the street signs here around town, right around the center. She tore them down, but now the debate has been sparked here in Winchester. Are these free speech or hate speech?
This is one of the greatest ideas I've ever seen, and it's a spin-off of the previous It's Okay to Be White campaign, which proved that social justice warriors have a problem with people being white.
The flyers read, you see it right there, it's okay to be white.
They were posted anonymously on the Davis campus and campuses across the country this week.
Whoever's posting these photos, I don't think they're realizing how triggering these posters are for people.
Turns out the same message was posted on college campuses across the country this past week. Besides UC Davis, UC Berkeley, Harvard, Princeton, Concordia, and Tulane were all targets.
And speaking of social justice warriors, NBC just hired YouTuber Superwoman, whose real name is Lilly Singh, to replace Carson Daly for one of those extra late night talk shows. And I'm not kidding you when I say this. This is not hyperbole. It is the most unfunny comedy show I've ever seen in my entire life. I did make it through an entire episode in awe at just how stupid it was, and almost every single joke is about how terrible white people and straight men are.
Listen, I understand that for some people, white people, seeing someone like me host a show is terrifying. Hashtag not my Carson Daly. But honestly, maybe I'm just the beginning. Maybe all of your favorite movies and TV shows are gonna get a minority remake.
If there was an Emmy for the least funny show on television, this woman would win for sure. I have a feeling her show is gonna be canceled by Christmas, but the critics over at Rotten Tomatoes have given it a 100% rating. It's a perfect show. These are the same critics who gave Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special a 35% rating, which is an F. South Park co-creator Matt Stone explained perfectly why so many critics trashed Dave Chappelle's new special, because they want to keep their jobs. And speaking of comedy, when Joe Biden was campaigning in Iowa, a reporter asked him to make his case why he would be a better president than Donald Trump, and he said no.
Well, in Iowa, the unemployment rate is 2.5%. People say they are employed in Iowa and their small businesses are growing. Iowa picked Trump by...
They were employed before he got elected.
The president won by 10 percentage points in Iowa.
I'm not suggesting he didn't win by 10 percentage points, What I'm suggesting is he's not the reason for the unemployment rate being down.
But why
He
should
inherited
people
it.
want to make a change, though?
Well, that's up to them to decide.
Why should they?
It's for them to decide.
Well, make your case.
I'm not going to.
I'm not going to make the case why people should vote for me. I just came to Iowa to get some corn on the cob and some ribeyes. It looks like it may be all over for Joe, and even Matt Drudge is saying that it's Elizabeth Warren's nomination to lose. Speaking of losers, Mr. Potato Head, Cory Booker, sent out an email to everybody on his list begging them for donations, saying that if he didn't raise $1.7 million by the end of today, he's going to have to drop out of the race. I'm surprised that he's made it this far, but I want him to make it to the next debate because I want to see him try to speak Spanish again.
La situación ahora es inaceptable. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable. Voy a cambiar este.
Sorry, Spartacus, I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. This is more my style.
The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations who protect their citizens, respect their neighbors, and honor the differences that make each country special and unique.
The future doesn't belong to globalists, it belongs to patriots. I'm gonna have to start using that. And if you're a patriot, I'm sure you'll love my patriotic shirts from my online store, markdice.com, like my Mount Trumpmore shirt, my new Trump White House shirt, or any of my awesome patriotic designs. And your purchase helps keep this channel going, so I appreciate your support. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.